The Academy Award-winning animated short, Hair Love, touched hearts across the country with the story of an African-American dad trying to style his daughter's hair for the first time. It was produced by St. Louis-based Lion Forge Animation, which weaves diverse tales told by diverse creators. The studio's projects are much more inclusive compared to what was consumed by the founders of Lion Forge, David Stewart II and Carl Reed, when they were kids in the 1980s.
There were a couple of shows that were, already out there. You had Different Strokes, you had What's Happening, those sorts of things. And of course, in late 80s, you had things like The Cosby Show, which was kind of like that real moment of kind of changing kind of what the narrative had been in the past. So, while we had shows on the air, we were always kind of depicted as, okay, well, as poor or, living in the projects, those sorts of things. But, you never until that point really saw affluent African Americans.
There's an old saying that, all of the stories have been told and there's only a certain number of stories and they're told over and over. The key and the difference is their perspective. And whereas some people see it as a risk, we see it as an advantage or a benefit to the content. And what makes Hair Love unique, the fact that you have a dad with dreadlocks and tattoos and a mom that's a natural hair blogger. This is true culture right now.
Lion Forge has a global footprint through a number of international production partnerships. And through its broad cultural representation in comic books and animated films, Stewart and Reed hope boys and girls not only identify with this new generation of work, but also better understand others who are not just like them.
For us, diverse content isn't just for the diverse group that you're portraying. Diverse content is for that group and for everybody else to be able to enjoy as well. Because only then are we going to really get, better outcomes and understanding of one another, better social norms as well.
Our content should be both a window and a mirror. For those that need to see themselves and for that representation, it should be a mirror. So you should look at that aspect and say, hey, I know that guy. I know a guy like him. I know this lady. I can relate to this aspect of them.
I knew you could do it.
Okay, so he says content should be a window and a mirror.
Absolutely. And we're seeing a number of media organizations respond to that. And to be completely honest, it's somewhat opportunistic, right? So we had Black Panther, which showed that you could make money, although there were examples before, right? And so companies and media companies are willing to take that risk. Mm-hmm. And I think that's great for people to understand that it's not a risk to show different cultures and skin tones and hair textures, and that those don't need to be siloed only to that population, that those can be universal stories. But that, again, is going to take work because we didn't grow up with those options. But the young people today are growing up with those options and hopefully will be able to see themselves in those films, just like I was able to see myself in films, even though it wasn't the same skin tone or hair texture. So some people get frustrated that, oh, well, this is, it gets labeled like the diversity short or the diversity film. It's like, well, why can't you see the humanity in that story? And so I think that's one great way in which race and skin tone and hair texture and those differences are being normalized as simply differences that we should appreciate and see as beautiful, right? Not a threat or a problem. But to also layer on that racism, I'm also hearing different media companies think about, well, how do we respond to that? What do we do to speak to racism for kids? And some of the conversations there are simple things like, in many of the kids' movies, you see the police officer as the helper. They're the helper, the person that everyone goes to. Well, the conversation around police violence has made people realize, oh, wait, not every community sees the police officer as the helper. Oh, we maybe need to think about what other helpers are there in the community. So it's not to denigrate the police officer, but how do we help other people see themselves in this as a possibility, right, might be to have a different kind of helper, whether it's someone at the church or someone else, right, who in the community holds a place of respect. And so to layer again the conversation about race and racism, that we need to see them as connected, but they're also distinct.
Right. And this is right up We Stories alley. I mean, you use books as a tool, as a way to inform families.
Yeah, absolutely. So the reason I love books so much is because I'm just like a voracious reader anyway, and love the beauty of children's books and how they can be used well beyond those childhood years. And the artwork in them is just amazing. But you can take a simple children's book and be able to go back to it time and time again and layer on a concept and connect it to other books, or when your child asks a question or you're out somewhere and something happens, you can connect so many things back to children's books. So the Hair Love, for example, it's another favorite of my 4-year-old daughter. She loves that book as well. But you need to add Don't Touch My Hair to your collection for your daughter, because Don't Touch My Hair is another one that we read as well. We have a few different hair books. But we couple that also with, we have several dolls at home that have different skin tones, different hair textures, so making the whole thing interactive and also just normalizing that we have a variety of things. We have a variety to connect that also to, like, we always have a variety of skin-toned crayons, markers, colored pencils. All of those different toys and things are always available, so that that's just normal. I was having a conversation with my 6-year-old this week, actually. He was playing one of the games on his tablet where, you can change the your skin color of your character. And he said, I just don't understand why this character, you can change his skin to brown here, but then none of the other minor characters have different skin colors. All of the other characters still have white skin. That just doesn't make sense to me. This is his conversation to me, because we have normalized it, as much as possible within our home, that that he has come to expect, like, these tools should just be available. And so I think that's, the simple kinds of things that parents can take even with really young children, is making the deliberate choices around toys, books, places that they go.